There's a story you were told about money, not in a classroom, not by your parents directly, but somewhere along the way, between school and your first paycheck, you absorbed it. Study hard, get a good job, save a little, buy a house by 30, retire happy. And here's the thing, that story wasn't wrong. It was just built for a world that doesn't exist anymore. Nobody updated the script. So millions of us are walking around feeling like we failed. When actually, we just inherited a map for a country that's been redrawn. I want to walk you through 4 specific lies your 20s sold you. Not because someone wanted to trick you, but because nobody noticed the rules had changed. By the end of this video, you'll see your own situation completely differently. Stay with me. This one matters. Section 1. Lie number 1. A good job is the goal. The first lie sounds harmless. Get a good job. That's the goal. Your parents said it. Your teachers said it. Your relatives at every awkward dinner said it. And for their generation, it was true. A good job in 1985 meant something specific. It meant healthcare, a pension, yearly raises that beat inflation, a career path that rewarded loyalty. You stayed 30 years and the company stayed with you. That deal is gone. Today, a good job might pay decently, but it probably won't give you a pension. The raises usually don't match real inflation. And if the company has a bad quarter, loyalty doesn't save you. So, we did what we were told. We chased the good job. And then we wondered why, after working hard for 5 years, we still felt like we were running in place. Here's what they didn't tell us. A job today is income, it's not security. And those are 2 completely different things. Income comes in once a month. Security is what you build on the side, slowly, quietly, while the job is still paying you. Your salary is the fuel. It's not the destination. And the moment you start treating it that way, everything changes. You stop expecting your job to give you a future, and you start using your job to build one. This isn't about hating your job, it's about being honest. The job isn't the finish line your parents told you it was. It's the runway. And what you do with that runway, outside of the 9 to 5, is what actually decides where you land. Section 2. Lie number 2. If you just work harder, you'll catch up. The second lie is sneakier, and it's the one that quietly burns people out. If you just work harder, you'll catch up. This idea, that effort equals reward, that hustle equals wealth, that grinding through your 20s guarantees comfort in your 30s, it sounds noble. But the math has changed. A generation ago, working hard at one job could buy you a house in your 20s. Today, in most cities worldwide, that same amount of work barely covers rent. Not because we're lazier, because housing went up 6 times faster than wages did. So when you feel exhausted, when you feel like no matter how much you do, the gap doesn't close, you're not imagining it. The treadmill literally got faster. Here's what nobody says out loud. Hard work is necessary. But it's not sufficient anymore. 2 completely different things. If hard work alone could fix it, the most exhausted generation in history would already be the richest. We're not. So something else is going on. What's actually going on is this. The people building real wealth right now aren't necessarily working harder than you. They're working differently. They have multiple income streams. They own something, even something small. They let their money do part of the work instead of carrying all of it themselves. So if you've been grinding and grinding and grinding, and you still feel behind, please hear me. You don't need to work harder. You need to work in a way that compounds, because effort that doesn't compound is just exhaustion with extra steps. Section 3. Lie number 3. Buying a house means you've made it. Lie number 3 is the one that makes people feel the most ashamed. And what I'm about to say in Section 4 is where almost everyone misses the real point. So stay with me. Buying a house means you've made it. For your parents' generation, this was true. A house was a forced savings account that grew faster than their salaries. So owning one in your 30s really was a milestone of success. But somewhere along the way, that became the whole definition of adulthood. and it quietly turned into a source of shame for everyone who couldn't get there. Here's what the script doesn't tell you. In most major cities worldwide today, renting is no longer financial failure. In some cases, it's actually the smarter move. When you buy a house, you're not just buying walls. You're buying location lock-in. You're buying a giant maintenance bill every year. You're buying interest payments that can equal the price of the house itself over 30 years. That doesn't mean buying is bad. It means buying was never the magic move people made it sound like. The real milestone of adulthood isn't owning property. It's owning your time. It's having enough financial flexibility that a bad month doesn't break you. It's being able to say no to work you hate. A rented apartment with savings and freedom is more adult than a mortgaged house that traps you in a job you can't leave. Stop measuring yourself against a milestone built for a different economy. Build the freedom first. The house, if it ever makes sense for you, can come later. Section 4. Lie number 4. Money is about numbers. The fourth lie is the deepest one. And honestly, this is the one I wish someone had told me at 22. Money is about numbers. Sounds obvious, right? Money is math. Income minus expenses. Save the difference. Invest, wait, done. If that were true, anyone who could read a calculator would be wealthy, but that's not what happens, because money isn't really about numbers. It's about emotions dressed up as numbers. Why do you check your bank account at midnight even when you know there's nothing new there? That's not math, that's anxiety. Why does buying something nice after a hard week feel so good for 30 seconds, then so heavy the next morning? That's not budgeting. That's emotional regulation. Why do you avoid opening the bill, but you'll happily research a vacation you can't afford yet? That's not logic. That's the same brain trying to escape and dream at the same time. The whole personal finance industry pretends money is rational so they can sell you spreadsheets and apps. But the people who actually build wealth slowly aren't the ones with the best spreadsheet. They're the ones who understand their own patterns. They know when they tend to overspend. They know what triggers it. They build systems that work even on their bad days. You don't need a better app. You need a better understanding of yourself with money. Because once you see the emotional pattern, you can finally interrupt it. And that, more than any tip or trick, is what quietly separates people who get free from people who stay stuck forever. So let's bring it together. Lie 1. A good job is the goal. Truth. A job is fuel, not freedom. Lie 2. If you work harder, you'll catch up. Truth. Effort without compounding is just exhaustion. Lie 3. Buying a house means you've made it. Truth. Owning your time matters more than owning walls. And lie 4. Money is about numbers. Truth. Money is emotions, and the people who win are the ones who see their own patterns clearly. You weren't lazy. You weren't bad with money. You were just handed a map that doesn't match the territory anymore. But now you know. And once you know, you can finally start building something that actually works for the world you live in, not the world they told you to expect. If this helped even a little, subscribe and stay with me. The next video keeps going. See you there.